I'd like to welcome everybody here tonight and thank everybody for coming, particularly the Daly family. All the Daly family. Particularly, I suppose, Paddy Daly, seeing as his family are celebrating a centenary as well in August, the centenary of leaving Farranfore, and I'm celebrating the centenary of coming to Farranfore. I suppose it was very much a labour of love for me. It's not about any of us here tonight, it's about all the people who went before us, all the people who ever passed through the doors here, who lived here, and it's my tribute to them. It's about, I suppose, community, friendship, bonds of family, love, and as I say, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Just briefly, there are a few people I'd like to thank. Tonight wouldn't have happened at all without the assistance of one very dynamic, energetic young lady, and unfortunately she's not here at all tonight, Marie O Sullivan.
Hey!
And Joan, all I can say is yourself and Noel and the whole family should be very proud of your daughter, because she's an amazing young girl.
Thanks, Mara.
I suppose, what would I call them? My road crew. My roadies, the people who put up the marquee, my cameraman here, John outside, the sandwich crew, the people behind the bar, anybody that I'm forgetting, I suppose library staff here, there and everywhere. As I say, if I have omitted anybody, it's not intentional. And I'll hand you over to Mark now, thank you.
Thanks, Mary. I'm going to stand up. I'm standing on the bar, but I'm not standing the bar. I drank it. Not just yet, lads. Not just yet. Mary, it's a great honour and privilege to be here tonight for the 100th anniversary of the O Sullivans, the Herlihys, the Collinses, being in this village, you know. And I suppose on a day of loss, and I'm sure you all heard of the loss of the great Con Houlihan, a man of a neighbouring parish, who was, I suppose, not only a great Kerryman but a great Irishman. You know, I suppose we should remember him not with a prayer or with silence, but with a story, because he was a great storyteller. And my father, who's there, once upon a time was the captain of the Abbeyfield rugby team. And they were playing Castle Island, over in Castle Island. And Con Houlihan was the referee. And Con, as you know, would referee matches in his bare feet. But of course, being from Castle Island, all the decisions were going with Castle Island. And my father's patience got very thin. And there was yet another decision for Castle Island, and my father couldn't understand what the penalty was going against Abbeyfield for. And he said, Con, what's that about? And he said, as Con would, bad play by both teams, hometown decision. May he rest in peace. I suppose this is an extraordinary exhibition. It's a great story of family and generations long gone before us who truly did extraordinary things. It really is a story of people's lives, about what they did and the extraordinary times they lived through. What you're looking at, and I suppose when you see the exhibition, you're talking about the turnpike, and then they talk about Bianconi and his coaches, and then the railway. You see maps out there where they have the proposed railway line, not the railway line itself. And then you have the news article about the day the airport opened. It just shows you how important Farranfore has been and still remains today in terms of Kerry. This crossroads is the linchpin of Kerry. Make no mistake about it. And Mary and myself are related to her great-grandmother. Your grandmother, my great-grandmother, were sisters. And, you know, I suppose this exhibition is about the future generations will learn from it, about all what their relatives did, and some of them did extraordinary things. And, you know, there's a great Russian proverb. It says that the person with one eye on the past is half blind, but the person with both eyes on the future can see nothing at all. And that's what this exhibition does. It tells us about the past, but it also shows us how we can go on towards the future. And I suppose this being an Olympic year, we should talk about the Olympian in the family. Michael Collins, not the Michael Collins, Another Michael Collins participated in the 1908 Olympics in London. Now, he didn't win a medal, but he was an awful rogue. And the story goes that he got most of his entertainment while he was in London, going around the streets of London, knocking the hats off the policemen and then running away. He was never caught because obviously he was training for the Olympics and the policemen weren't. But I mean, and so many other extraordinary stories of lives out there. And I suppose two final ones. One is another relative that will remain nameless. I see my cousin over there, Jamie, but will remain nameless. And obviously the Collinses, the Herlihys, the O Sullivans, all the people in the parish were very enterprising people. They've been in business in one shape or other in the area for over 100 years. But we had one particular, I had one particular enterprising relative who was very good at catching fish. Now, whether or not he had a license to catch the fish, I'm not entirely sure. He wasn't great with the paperwork, but what he was very good at is he also knew the local sergeant here in Farranfore, and he was always tipped off when there was a bailiff in the particular patch of river that he was going to be fishing in. And he was also using the old railway network, of course, so when the fish had to go up to Dublin, they were put on the train, sent to Dublin, and thus enterprise kept coming to Kerry. And I suppose the final story of the family's involvement in the area, I suppose, has to do with a small story from the Civil War. Humphrey Murphy, who was the commandant of the area, was attacking Farranfore. And they were doing a pincer movement, attacking from both sides. But the road here over towards Curra was one of the points of attack. And they sent 2 scouts ahead. And the 2 scouts went ahead, saw a government soldier on the bridge just out here, and reported back to Humphrey and said, there's a fella on the bridge ahead. The scout was told by Humphrey, we have to clear the way, you must get that man off the bridge, go up there and shoot at him. And the 2 boys, one 18, the other 16, were starting to argue with their commandant and explain why they didn't want to do it. But the commandant turned around and said, I don't care, we must attack Farranfore, we must take the railway junction, it's the most important junction in Kerry. So the boys reluctantly went up to the bridge. And when they arrived at the bridge, as they said in the Munster Express in 1949 in the article that was written about the attack, when they got to the bridge, they were absolutely delighted that your man was gone, because now they didn't have to shoot him. So they walked by the gable of the pub, not being great soldiers now, they stood in the middle of the road, looked up and down the village, but didn't spot the soldier across the way in the house across the road, sitting back in the recess of the road, or recess of the doorway. And your man, the soldier, ran for the railway junction where all the government soldiers were, and the 2 boys got such a fright they started shooting after him, forgetting that they were so sorry that they had to come up and shoot him in the first place. They shot wildly, missed him completely, but of course signalled that the attack had started, and the machine guns opened up from the barracks below, and all hell broke loose, and the whole of Farranfore was riddled with bullets. The boys, knowing that discretion is the better part of valour, beat a retreat. That was Charlie Daly, my grandfather. And can I just say, in conclusion, that tonight when we head out of the town, we won't leave it riddled with bullets.
Did your man die?
Not the way Charlie Daly was shooting, he was never going to die. Folks, I think Marie deserves a big round of applause for all that she has done. The history that she has put together, the story about if we're not connected by blood, we're connected to helping each other through the years, whether in the pub or the shop or in the fields around the place. Every neighbour helped each other. That's the way it was before, it'll be the way it will be into the future, and that exhibition outside is a record of all the achievements, not only of the Herlihy family and the Collins family and the O Sullivan family and the Dollies and the Dalys, but everybody in the Farranfore area, and I think she deserves a big round of applause for it. Thanks very much, and I promise there'll be no riddling the village with bullets tonight. God bless.
Mark, stand there with Marie just a minute, please. Marie?
I told you there'd be no guns, but if someone gets hit with their car, don't go that way. safeties on it.
I'll do that one, Mark.
Will you? As good as who? There's enough there for everyone in the audience. We're like the late show.
Harry, just Matt, together there. Put your hand in the bottle there.
My hand on the bottle. Mary,
Yes.
that's yours.
Nothing, Harry.
No.
All right. And again.
Well, it's the birthday of the 100 years of the pub is here, so we'd like just to join in with me and